Hi, I'm Paul. So I was wondering whether or what is more important to the awakened mind, whether it's the ending of the movement of thought or choice. Now, I did a video yesterday talking about the movement of thought, so I'm going to talk in this video about choice. Many different ways we can look at choice, but I'm not going to go too much into them. So I'm not talking like the choice of chicken and beef or cats and dogs. I'm talking about making a choice and standing with it, despite authority or beliefs or past beliefs or supposed to, should do. So for an example of this, let's say I get arrested by the police being quite a substantial authority, and they say, I want to search you. So can you empty your pockets? And I say, no. And they say, why not? Well, I have a choice. And they say, you don't have a choice. I say, no, I do have a choice, and I've made my choice, and I choose not to empty my pockets. And then they say, well, you leave me no choice. So then they pin me down and search me. And then afterwards they say to me, I told you had no choice. And I say, no, I did have choice. It was you who didn't have choice. Now, if we look at this, I stood by my choice. I said, I am a human being, I have a choice, and I'm not going by some rules. I've made my choice. And what they're saying is, I don't have a choice because I'm going by the rules. You see, let's look at it in the eyes of the police who are searching me. Let's just say I gave them a choice. You know, the sergeant said, look, you've got a choice, totally up to you. Now, if he chooses to search me against my will, and let's say he doesn't find anything, then he would have to carry the sin. You know, arguing against me, pinning me down, and so on, for nothing. So he would have to carry that sin. But the difference is, he doesn't have a choice. He's told by his sergeant, by rules. So therefore, he goes against my will, pins me down and searches me, but doesn't get to carry any sin, because that's what he was supposed to do. He didn't have a choice. Now, in some things, I believe that we do actually have a choice, and some things we don't have a choice. Perhaps in the truth, we have a choice. You see, I chose my truth and I stuck by it. I chose no. If I put this in a position of the police who's got a job and he says, no, I'm going to stick by my choice and I'm going to go against rules, then the police stands a possibility of losing a job, losing a house. So in the sake of reality, I'm under so much pressure that I get rid of my choice and I obey because I don't want to lose my job. We also do this in the army as well. You see, people in the army are trained to kill. When they go and kill, but that's okay because they don't hold the sin. The sergeant, general, whoever holds the sin, because they was told, or they told them that they had to do it. I often wonder if PTSD from the army is quite often when you leave the army, you realize, I did that. I killed. It was actually on me. So what I'm talking about in this is the awakened mind, which is more important, the movement of thought or the ending of movement of thought or choice. Now, I don't know which is more important. They're probably both quite important. But I think that even the end of the movement of thought might not quite get you all the way. I imagine that to go further, you have to have choice. I mean, obviously, there's more to this because you could make an incorrect choice. But if you stick with the truth, then do you make an incorrect choice? Or is it only when you apply other choices, might lose my house, so on and so on, that then that makes you make the wrong choice? Perhaps. So what I'm saying, don't know if I'm right or not, but what I'm saying is perhaps there is something that's a little bit further than just the ending movement of thoughts, and that is choice to stand up. Imagine if the whole world stood up and made their choice not based on rules, not based on authority. Pretty sure that the whole collective consciousness would change. Probably for the good. But anyway, I just wanted to share the two choices there. Which one is it that's more important, the ending of movement of thought or choice? So that's it. Thanks very much for listening.